Well, welcome everybody. Glad to have you all here tonight. We're getting ready to have a meeting, Board of Commissioners, regular August 6th meeting. And at this time, I'll add City Clerk Beth Davis to please call the roll.
Commissioner Pam Smith-Wright is unavailable. Commissioner Sharon Neesmith? Here. Mayor Tom Watson?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Mark Kesslin?
Here.
Commissioner Bob Glenn?
Here.
Okie dokie. At this time, if you're able to stand, we'd please like to have the invocation and pledge by Commissioner Sharon Neesmith.
Dear Lord, thank you so much for this day and for all the folks that are joining us here today to help us as we move forward with the city business. Also think about all of our employees and all of the other citizens in Owensboro that are braving the heat and still doing what they need to do every day, and hopefully with a big smile. We appreciate you. We always ask for help, for you to help us, but today's a day for us to say thank you, and everyone remember to say why. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next item on the agenda is retirement recognitions. Boy, oh boy. I'm going to read something, and for driver engineer Michael, Chad Embry. Chad Embry began his career in the city of Owensboro on October the 25th, 1999. As a firefighter, he achieved a promotion to the position of driver engineer on August the 21st, 2005. Chad's engaging personality, his dependability in knowing his job, and his avid interest in local sports made him a good fit for the OFD family for nearly 25 years. In his most recent years of service, he spent time at Station 5 driving a ladder truck. Is that a ladder truck? Is that ladder 5? Is that right? Is that right, Sam? Okay. I don't know about this stuff. Chad was generous with his time and attention at Station 5 and mentoring young firefighters to prepare them for proficiently operating our engines and ladder trucks. His experience and performance under the stress of emergencies will be missed. Having worked his final shift with OFD on July the 29th, 2024, he now sets out on the next chapter of his retirement. So I guess he's on his next ship of retirement, so he's not here. Robert Bobby Lacey. He's not here either. Robert Bobby Lacey has worked in transit for just over 5 years. This is not Bobby's first retirement. He previously retired from the United States Postal Service after 30 years of dedicated service. Following that retirement, he worked part-time at Ben Halls and Hillcrest Golf Course for about 8 years. Since 2019, Bobby has been a dedicated driver for the city, known for his reliability and dedication. His contributions will be greatly missed. Bobby now plans to spend more time with his family and grandchildren, who wish him well and hope he enjoys the many years of well-deserved retirement. Bobby Lacey. Okay. We actually had somebody show up. The Certificate of Outstanding Service hereby recognize Captain Timothy G. Pryor and extends its grateful appreciation for your outstanding service, faithfully rendered while employed by the City of Owensboro from 1999 to 2024. All those who reside in the City of Owensboro, Kentucky, are asked to join in this recognition of appreciation on this 31st day of July, 2024. Mr. Pryor. What are y'all telling me? Oh, I got to read a paragraph on you first. Well, we had a little background check on you as you was leaving, make sure everything's okay. Tim began his career with the City of Owensboro on November 15th. What a great day, 1999. as a firefighter. He became officer of OFD upon his promotion to lieutenant on July the 1st, 2013. By February the 7th, 2016, he was promoted again to the position of captain. While in the role of captain, he was honored with the designation of Owensboro Fire Officer of the Year in 2017. Among his notable achievements have been his work as a recruiter for Western Kentucky Blood Center and his efforts to organize and lead respectful honor guard services in our community for many years. Tim's most prominent trait is his love of his family, which has made a central part of his relationship with co-workers at OFD. He has also strived to provide attention outreach to OFD retirees. After nearly 25 years of service as a first responder, Tim worked his last shift with OFD on July the 31st, 2024, and now sets out on the next chapter of his retirement. So let's all go down and take a picture with Timothy Pryor.
Well, again, my name is Tim Pryor. I like to talk and might ramble a little bit. When the mayor said that I started in 1999, that was a century ago. And so 25 years went by really fast. Like he said, I was instrumental in the honor guard that Fred Hina, for those that are old enough to remember, Fred Hina started and had a big push for. And then Jeff Millay, God rest his soul, asked me to take that over. Right before his passing, so how do you say no? So I say all that to say I hope that OFD continues the traditions that we have. Like I said before, the 25 years went fast, very, very fast. One thing I did learn that you have to change, and you have to be kind, and most importantly, you need to develop relationships. Even if you're not good at it, you need to develop those, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And my last 2 shifts, I found that out, how important I was to people. And I don't think they were faking it. I think most people meant it genuinely. So, again, thank you very much. It's been a great 25 years, and I'll see you in the funny papers. Yeah.
Sisters, would you please come forward? That heckle? I haven't seen you forever. Okay, proclamation from the city of Owensboro. Whereas the Ursuline Sisters of Mount St. Joseph are celebrating 150 years since their arrival at Maple Mount on August the 15th, 1874. Whereas the that's all, folks. Whereas the Ursuline Sisters of Mount St. Joseph have provided excellent education to thousands of children throughout Davis County, leading schools at the Owensboro parishes of St. Joseph and Paul, Blessed Mother and Immaculate, St. Pius and Precious Blood, along with 10 schools throughout Davis County. Whereas they brought the first higher education opportunities to women by opening Mount St. Joe Junior College for Women in 1925 and established the first four-year educational college in Owensboro by opening Brescia College in 1950. Whereas they expanded their ministries to serve in numerous churches in Owensboro, assisting immigrants through Centro, Latino, and help people grow in their spirituality through the Mount St. Joseph Conference and Retreat Center. Whereas today, the Ursuline Sisters continue to bring hospitality and spirituality to all those they meet. Therefore, I, Thomas Hart Watson, Mayor of the City of Owensboro, do hereby proclaim August the 15th, 2025 as Ursuline Sisters of Mount St. Joseph Day in Owensboro, and urge that all citizens to join us in congratulating the Ursuline Sisters of Mount St. Joseph on this Memorial Day, 6th day of August, 2024. Okay, got Grip and Green. Couple, one of you over on my side. And we got yeah, hold the thing and then do the green. Thank you. All right, one of you are designated to say something at the mic. Y'all designate yourself on that. You can take turns. You can take turns.
Sister. God bless you. Congratulations. God bless you for your ministry. God bless you for your ministry. 150 years ago, we drifted down the Ohio River on a flatboat and were welcomed at Owensboro, Kentucky. And that welcome enabled us to do what we later did. Because if relationship, Tim, is important, we have learned that sharing our faith and sharing the resources and sharing the gifts that each person brings is vital to all that we do. We could not have stayed here 150 years without the people of Owensboro, and we hope that we can stay another 150 with you all, too. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is my friend Dr. James Cousins, President of Kentucky Wesleyan College. Yeah, he's a little tall, yeah.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor Watson. Thanks, everyone, for having me out today. It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm James Cousins. I'm the 36th president of Kentucky Wesleyan College here in Owensboro. Very proud to be the 36th president. I replace Dr. Thomas Mitzel, who is the 35th president, if you're doing the math. This is my fourth year in Owensboro. I come by way of Western Michigan University, and before that I was at the University of Kentucky. So very proud to be here. A new president gives us a good opportunity to refresh everyone's memories about our college just down the road, Kentucky Wesleyan College. We do a wonderful job there educating the citizens of the region, and we contribute a great deal to the city, and we're very proud of that. 22 academic programs, 14 athletic programs where women and men compete at the NCAA Division II level. Little over 800 students, 8,000 alumni that are spread throughout the world. And we pride ourselves on many things. And what really sets Kentucky Wesleyan apart is our emphasis on the whole student, on their intellectual, their spiritual, their moral, their ethical, and their social development. We place a great deal of emphasis on leadership, and that leadership begins from day one and is shot through the curriculum. It's written across the curriculum. So what we bring to them in terms of support, in terms of mentorship, they develop as a person, they develop their competencies, they develop in their ability to articulate thoughts, and lead others. And you see that on campus. You see that as they take roles in student government, and academic leadership, and leadership in their athletic teams, but in what they do in the community. Last year, our students contributed just over 8,000 hours of support to the city, and that came in the form of flood buckets, preparation and donations of shoes and gifts at Christmas time, and beds that are built on our campus and contributed to local youths that need that, and really in dozens of other activities and endeavors that we do. This is all bulwarked by a curriculum that emphasizes communication disproportionately. So a rigorous written and verbal communication, an emphasis on written and verbal communication throughout their 4 years, not just in their English English courses, but really throughout every single major. We focus on their written and verbal communication program proficiencies, and they grow and they become exceptional over their time at the college. We're very proud of that. We are known for many programs, but folks around, and I'm sure there's some Wesleyan folks here in the audience, but we have a great presence in the educational community, in the business community. We take a lot of pride in our accounting programs, in our business programs, accounting specifically in the sciences, and we have hundreds of alums who are MDs, ODs, PharmDs, and everything in between, all the different acronyms you can imagine in the healthcare professions. We do an amazing job, PhDs, and we're committed to Owensboro. We have just under 1,996 alumni who live in Owensboro. And we're one of the city's most significant employers, just under 115 employees. We contribute $8.6 million to the local economy in terms of wages. Our employees contribute another $150,000 in the occupational taxes. Our online programs are small, but they're niche, and they're really developed with Owensboro in mind, and that is to meet the real need of Owensboro, which stands around 25% college completion rate, that judged against Lexington, which is about 48%, and Louisville, which is about 33%. So there's real need here in Owensboro, and our online program is geared towards folks with some college credit but no college degree. And so growth in that area is really with Owensboro in mind. And we've steadily increased our numbers, and those numbers will continue to increase, but with the community in mind. And you've seen in the paper over the last few weeks a partnership with a purveyor of a certificate program. So we've developed a number of online certificate programs to help upskill folks in the community. It's a great value add, and we're very proud of that. We've announced just recently a 20% discount for first responders, and I was repaying some of what we get from those folks. But we want to be better, and we want to do better for Owensboro. We want to be more consistent and more consistent partners in what we're trying to develop. So the concert on the lawn occurs every August, and you see the signs up. That's coming up in a couple weeks, and every time we have it, we wonder, boy, why don't we have more of these on campus? It's so beautiful, and the weather seems to break just for that day before the oppressive heat returns. But we'll have that back this year, and we'll have a number of other events. Over the summer, we hosted Phantom Regiment and camps and other opportunities for the community to come out and see us. I'm very proud of our speakers that we have to campus. We'd love to invite more folks from the community to come out and see some really world-class scholars, academicians out on campus. Obviously, our fine and performing arts are a real source of pride for us. But we have an exciting year ahead. Not only do we have a new president, we have I think a record-breaking class on campus in the fall. We're very proud of that. And here to welcome them on August 17th will be Senator Rand Paul to deliver our convocation address. But we've embarked on a number of things this year to take advantage of that new fresh energy. So we have a strategic and a campus master planning process that kicked off back in April. We're inviting community partners and members of our larger campus community to contribute their ideas and thoughts on the next sort of 3 or 4 years of Kentucky Wesleyan's history, invite you to be part of those conversations. Invite you to take part in all that we do on Kentucky Wesleyan's campus. We have a really vibrant atmosphere on just with our athletic programs and with so many other things that are going on. I invite you to come out for those. And you'll see what I see every day, which is a gorgeous campus and that is meticulously maintained. And we do that because we pour our whole hearts and our whole efforts into our students. We're so proud to be part of the community and so grateful for the opportunity to continue our presence in the community, to partner with you, and to take form as Owensboro grows and progresses into the next moment of who it is. So, thank you so much.
Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you. Next item on the agenda is business. Consider approval of minutes from July 16, 2024. I'll make a motion to approve this. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion, additions, deletions? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item 5A, consider approval of, oops, I did that. 5B, consider city employees board that's closed, appoint Laura Chapman to fill the remainder of an unexpired term ending January the 7th, 2028, replacing Lynn Holland. And Do the Best Neighborhood Alliance, appoint Andrea Johnson to a 2-year term expiring August the 2nd, 2026. So we'll make a motion to approve those.
Second.
Could I have any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Item 6, first reading of an ordinance. There will be no vote. Ms. Davis.
Ordinance 12-2024, an ordinance amending the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2024 and ending June 30, 2025, and amending ordinance 7-2024 to revise beginning fund balances, carry over appropriations for all outstanding encumbrances, capital projects, and rebudget funds. Introduced and publicly read on first reading this 6th day of August, 2024.
Thank you. City Manager, would you like to open a discussion on this?
Yes, Mayor, be happy to do so. Thank you. This is first reading of our typical carryover budget amendment that we consider early in every fiscal year. The amendment accounts for projects in progress that were not finished by the end of the previous fiscal year on June 30th, and it also provides updated fund balances for our various funds based on actual performance for the last fiscal year instead of the estimates that we have to use when we prepare the budget several months ago. There's really just one new item other than things that you've already approved in prior years, and that is a $100,000 appropriation for the refrigerated food storage facility that we heard a presentation about several months ago. Everyone was comfortable to fund that. So that's included. Other than that particular allocation, everything else are items that have been previously approved and are just being carried forward from the last fiscal year. So other than that, happy to answer any questions should you have them.
Thank you, City Manager. Any questions? Okay, no questions. All right, item 7, Ms. Davis, municipal order.
Municipal Order 22-2024, a municipal order of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Owensboro, Kentucky, authorizing the payment, redemption, and discharge of $470,000 of the city's general obligation bonds, Series 2013B, maturing on May 1, 2033, the redeemed bonds, authorizing the deposit of monies received from the River Park Center in the Series 2013B bond payment fund for the payment, redemption, and discharge of the redeemed bonds on their earliest practical redemption date, authorizing the execution and delivery of all additional documents or certificates necessary to achieve the redemption of the redeemed bonds, and taking related actions. Read for approval on one reading the 6th day of August, 2024.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve this municipal order. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
You want me to take this, or you want it to?
I'm happy to take it. If you remember at the May 7th meeting, the Board of Commissioners approved a municipal order amending our lease with the River Park Center to remove the Turley building from their management, and we assumed management of the building at that time. In addition, the city and the county provided funding to River Park to retire their debt and to reimburse them for their expenses and improvements to the Turley building. Their debt is a portion of a bond that the city issued in 2013. This municipal order for your consideration will redeem or pay off the River Parks portion of that debt from that 2013 bond. The debt retirement is a companion action to the city retaking the Turley building, and these actions are intended to better position the River Park Center for a sustainable financial future.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item 7B, Ms. Davis.
Municipal Order 23-2024, a municipal order authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a real estate purchase agreement for the acquisition of property located at 919 Cedar Street. Read for approval on one reading this 6th day of August, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve. Could I have a second, please? Thank you. City Manager.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. The Operation Firehouse is the city's plan to invest in all of our fire facilities over a several-year period. As you will recall, we completed an expansion and renovation of Station 2 on Highway 54 a couple of years ago. We are currently constructing a new fire training center at the corner of Parrish Avenue and J.R. Miller. And a replacement for Station 3 is currently out for bid, and so hopefully that will break ground later this year. Another Operation Firehouse project is to design and build a replacement or a new Station 1, which of course is the main station. This municipal order authorizes the purchase of 919 Cedar Street, which is contiguous on the southwest side of property the city already owns for Station 1. This acquisition will be the last to provide the space required to build a modern and appropriately sized facility and headquarters station. The cost for the property is $145,000, and funding is available in the project budget. I'll refer you to the screen, and the project or the property in question is outlined in the red property lines there, and that is 919 Cedar. We own the two properties to the north, which are also formerly residential, and then you can see there at the top of the screen along 9th Street is the existing Station 1. I think the plan is to redesign and have an orientation more toward 9th Street, and we need to acquire this property so the trucks will have the proper turning radius for drive-through bays at the new station.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. City Manager items.
Yes, Mayor. First, if you would acknowledge Angela Waninger, Director of Finance and Support Services. She'll present the June financial report, which of course is in effect our year-end financial report for the 23-24 fiscal year.
I do hereby recognize you.
Thank you, Mayor. So as Nate, City Manager Pagan mentioned, I'm going to give you a high-level view of the general fund activity for the 12 months and the month ended June. So for the first slide, as you can see, our actual revenues of $12,324,977 were higher than the budgeted revenues of $12,219,543, resulting in a variance of $105,434. This variance is primarily due to higher occupational withholding and lower net profits. The next slide is our fiscal year-to-date for the 12 months ended June for the general fund revenues. For the 12 months ended June, total actual revenues of $82,329,975 were higher than budgeted revenues of $78,478,196 for a variance of $3,851,779. This variance is primarily due to higher net profits, interest income, and insurance premium fees. We had record highs in our major revenue categories this year. The net profits of $6.4 million were $552,000 higher than last year. The insurance premium license fees of $8 million were $800,000 higher than last year. It's also been a great year for interest income. Between what we earned at our local bank and on the investments that we purchased, the general fund interest income was $2.5 million. It's also worth noting that although our occupational withholding was $170,000 under budget, for the fiscal year, it is $770,000 or 3.4% higher than the prior year. Our next slide is expenditures for the month of June. Expenditures were $11,836,863, which was higher than budgeted expenditures of $5,989,733, for a variance of $5,847,130. This is primarily due to timing in transfers and capital, and this is partially offset by savings in personnel services. For our next slide is the 12 months ended June. Our actual expenditures of $74,862,155 were less than budgeted expenditures of $83,088,824, for a variance of $8,226,669. This variance is primarily due to timing and transfers, maintenance, and savings in personnel services. And for those wondering, how can we have timing differences at the end of the year? What that means is that for projects or items that had unused appropriations for the fiscal year 2023-24, due to not being completed in the same fiscal year, we carry those appropriations over into the new fiscal year 2024-25 through a budget amendment, which the city manager Pagan covered earlier. Timing and transfers includes a $2.4 million for the contribution to OMU and $400,000 to the River Park Center. We are also carrying over unused appropriations on commitments for maintenance and supplies. So to summarize, while actual expenditures are $8 million lower than budget, $4.3 million of this is unused appropriations getting carried over, and while we also had significant savings for personnel services due to vacancies in the amount of $1.6 million. So for our last slide, we get to wrap up the slide. The city's monthly revenues and expenses are cyclical, as you can see on the chart. This is the nature of finances at the city. Expenses, as depicted by the red bar, outpace revenues in the warmer months when the outdoor activities are in full swing. Likewise, we have months where revenues, as depicted by the green bar, outpace expenditures, such as in the month of October and November, due to collection of property taxes, and the month of April due to collection of net profits. So I can sum it up to say we are closing the year in a financially and fiscally sound position. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, I'll make a motion to file the report for audit. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any other discussion? The only thing I'd say, great job to you and all your team. And I think didn't Mac say we were in pretty good financial shape considering all the stuff that's gone on?
Yes, Mayor, he did. He said that when he presented the audit report last year, said it's the best financial condition he has seen us in, and we're better today than we were then. So yes, that's correct.
Well, great job.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Just one quick question. I always ask this, Angela, you know that. How close are we to a bond rating upgrade? Does that look like it's on the horizon? I know we talked about that.
My personal opinion is I think we're past due because, we've made great strides with our debt service. Our fund balance is healthy. The commission has been willing to take the property tax increases where necessary. And so I actually look forward to the next opportunity to have that discussion with Moody's. So I think personally we're past due.
Right.
Yeah.
That's wonderful news. And thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You're
the mayor
welcome.
said, I would echo him. What a wonderful job you and your staff have done. God bless you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Sue Mandy?
Yeah, I'll just provide some quick context for that. So in the ensuing years, or previous years between 2014 and 15, 16, 17 period, the city suffered 2 bond rating downgrades. And so we've gotten 1 rating upgrade since then. We endeavor to get the second one to get back to where we were at least. As Angela referenced, we feel like we've done more than enough to satisfy that. So we have a little bit of a disagreement with our rating agency, but we will get it worked out, I'm sure. But it is something we endeavor to do.
Thank you. Any other discussion? You want to talk, Sarah?
Yes,
okay, Commissioner
please.
Cash.
When is the next review with Moody's? Do they
So
do that?
we typically have those done when we issue bonds. And so we do anticipate a bond issue sometime probably next year for some of the remaining Operation Firehouse projects. So we'll do one to rebuild Station 1, and then Station 4, I believe, is the next one in the queue. And so between the two of them, that could be a probably $15, $16, $18 million investment that we'll make. So that's not something we would pay from our cash balance. So we would issue a bond probably next year sometime for those projects, which would be the next time we would have that reviewed.
Yeah. Also, they have just started doing annual reviews. So, yeah, so it's a new thing. So if we don't borrow money for, say, 2 years, we'll still be getting an annual review from them. Gives them another opportunity to charge us for their services.
Maybe that's not good.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. City manager, 8D.
Yes, I have quite a few personnel appointments for your consideration this evening. Cole Cecil, probationary full-time, non-civil service appointment to mechanic with the Public Works Garage Department effective August 12th. Anthony Brown, Dakota Cavender, Joshua Hayden, Scott Johnson, Caleb Neiman, Samantha Stevens, Pascal or Pete Tarantino, and Ian Wilson, probationary full-time, non-civil service appointments to firefighter with the fire department effective September 9th, all contingent upon successful completion of all post-offer pre-employment requirements. Dakota Bratcher and Jared Peacock, probationary full-time, non-civil service promotional appointments to lieutenant with the fire department effective August 11th. Jacob Begay and David Haynes, regular full-time, non-civil service appointments to firefighter with the fire department effective August 6th. Jacob Pace, regular full-time, non-civil service appointment to police officer with the police department effective August 12th. Christopher Brown, regular full-time, non-civil service appointment to police officer with the police department effective August 13th. And Kieran Catlett, regular full-time, non-civil service appointment to police officer with the police department effective August 20th.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve these appointments. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any other discussion? Did you forget anything, city manager?
Not on the personnel appointments.
Okay. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Communication from elected officials. Open public forum.
I was going to make one comment.
Oh, you had your chance.
I'm sorry, I thought you were asking specific to personnel. You got me nervous that I forgot something. So I was
made you
looking at
nervous.
Josh to make sure I didn't skip a name.
Okay.
Mayor, I just wanted to comment. Owensboro has a well-deserved reputation for excelling at sports tourism, and that's largely due to the efforts of Mr. Jared Bratcher. And Jared passed away, unfortunately, 2 or 3 weeks ago. We had an extra week between meetings, so I just wanted to comment on his passing. I worked with Jared over 20 years ago when I was early in my career, and so his efforts really got us where we are today with the sports tourism industry that we have developed over decades. And so I just want to acknowledge him and his work in the past, because it's certainly exemplary, and his service is appreciated, and our community is better for it.
I agree wholeheartedly. I had a chance to work with Jared for a long time, so I'll ask everyone to give me if you would please join me in a moment of silent prayer. Thank you, and God bless, Jared. Okay, communication from elected officials now. Is our turn. Commissioner Neesmith.
I know we go through a lot of numbers when we're in these meetings, and also we talk about things that we talked about in the past, but I would like to say I was really excited to see that we were able to donate some, or not fund some money for the warehouse that's going to house from the different agencies that donate food. It's one of those things where a lot of times the agencies get food, but they don't have any place to store it. So I think I was really excited when they first came out with that idea, and even more excited that we were able to provide some funds to help make that happen. So kudos to the group that started that and is going to keep that going.
I agree. Steve Ennis and Ramrod in that project, and he's a very accurate guy, so I think it'll do well. Commissioner Glenn?
Yes, I just want to make one general comment, and that is, I wanted to thank specifically Pleasant Valley Church for hosting the memorial service for baby Maya Rudd. I attended that. The very obviously tragic circumstances for her death at age 8 months. She was born in Owensboro, however, so people wonder about the Ohio County connection. And I would just say, as a community, let us be ever vigilant that the most innocent among us deserve the most adherence we can to protect them. And in this case, that didn't happen with the family network for this child, and it's absolutely tragic. But I do want to thank Jameis Edwards and the staff at Pleasant Valley Community Church. They did a beautiful service, and I think people left inspired and believing that that her tragic end was not in vain.
Thank you. Good comments. Commissioner Caston?
Thank you, Mayor. I met with the CVB this morning. They had
What
their
is the CVB?
Convention Visitors Bureau.
Some people might not know.
Yes, that's true. Good point. But anyway, we were going over the numbers that our Convention and Visitors Bureau have produced as far as up to this time of the year, and they are just knocking it out of the park with all the different events that they bring to town, all the number of people that are brought to town for all the different events. And I just want to tip my hat to them for the great job that they do. Also today, I had the opportunity to go through the center with Erica Wade, and the center is actually a kind of a child advocacy group that monitors visits with parents and children that are abused, and they give so much to the community and reach out to so many people throughout not just Davis County but surrounding counties as much as possible. And just wanted to also tip my hat to them. And I happened to pass by Cargill Corner where they have donated lots to the Habitat for Humanity, and those houses are coming along quickly. I look at these groups and I see all the positive things happening in our city and all of the volunteers that make this city so great, and just wanted to recognize them. And last but not least, I pitched in a cornhole tournament against the mayor here. I let him win.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Actually, I think his partner had sore shoulders at the end of the game from carrying him so much, but it was a fun time, and that's another one of the things that the Convention Visitors Bureau has brought to town that has brought so much revenue to the city is the National Cornhole Tournament. And anyway, it was a fun time pitching against you, Tom. And
nobody remembers who came in second.
No, they don't. But anyway, just wanted to let you know that that's a big tournament, and the Convention and Visitors Bureau have really gone out of their way to help this city. Thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. I was used to throwing cornhole from here to those brown chairs over there, and they had that dead blame. It was like 3 times as long as it was. She had to really figure out how to swing that thing high enough to get it over there. It was kind of fun. They did a great job. It kept moving, and it was quite enjoyable. And I almost couldn't get out of bed the next day, but moving stuff I hadn't moved in a long time. But it was great, and it was put on very, very well. So, okay, open public forum, please. Members of the audience may address the Board of Commissioners on any matter of public concern that was not on the agenda. Comments are limited to issues within the scope and responsibility of the Commission. Commission meetings are held to conduct city business for the benefit of the Owensboro citizens and taxpayers. The meetings are not intended to serve as public forums for candidates who are campaigning for political office. Political candidates may not be allowed to use the commission meetings to promote their candidacy, his or her candidacy for public office. At this time, anyone who wishes to address the city commission, please make their way to the podium to be recognized. Speakers must state their name and address for the clerk's record and limit their remarks to 3 minutes or less. Any takers?
I'm Pam Bivens, 4127 Liberty Point. In less than 2 years, we will celebrate America's semi-quincentennial, the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. As we weave our way toward this historic milestone, we will be presented with many opportunities to reflect on our nation's past, honor the contributions and achievements of all Americans, and look forward to accomplishments of future generations. I vividly recall celebrating the bicentennial, particularly since 1976 was the year I graduated from high school. Small towns and large cities celebrated. We had the bicentennial quarter, a special edition of the $2 bill, the Freedom Train. Even my high school class ring bore the fife and drum corps from the Revolutionary War. Part of celebrating our great democracy is working together in service to our communities. I've come here today to ask you to be part of a small project to help support our Science and History Museum. I'm creating a quilt to be used in fundraising event during the semi-quincentennial celebration, and I would like to involve the gentlemen of Owensboro in this quilt. Any of you guys quilters? No?
He is.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I do it all.
Oh, well, that's good. The museum, okay, the museum directors, the mayor and I have devised a great way to get you personally involved in this project. I'll be making a necktie quilt. And the gentlemen of Owensboro will be providing the neckties. I've even brought special tie pins for you to attach your names. Now I want you to print legibly because I can't read doctor. And feel free to add $1 or $2 if you want to. This is, after all, a fundraiser for the museum. Details of this event will be finalized and announced later, and I know you're all loyal fans of the museum, so you can follow the progress on their Facebook page. And you will also, at some point, be able to possibly buy a raffle ticket or purchase this quilt. And ladies, don't worry, you can be involved as well. I will be happy to take a special gentleman's tie to be put on this quilt. Let's see. You are the first ladies and gentlemen of Owensboro that I am asking to contribute to this quilt. I appreciate your enthusiasm and your interest. Now, Your Honor, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
My wife said, pick the ugliest tie you could find. Okay.
Gentlemen, names? Oh, I need some more. I'll be back. Any of the rest of you gentlemen wish to produce a tie? There you go.
Rip.
I see a beautiful red tie over here.
You mean now? Give this
Well, absolutely.
favorite tie.
Beautiful red ties. And if you want the tie back, there's always the chance. Put your names, gentlemen. Ties, gentlemen. It's for a good cause. You're grinning a lot. There can always be a ransom on that tie. It is for a good cause.
Ouch.
Thank you, my dear. Did you get your special other one.
He's gonna get you a purple one.
Oh, absolutely, it's Wesleyan's colors, yes.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, I saw you standing up there. I was afraid to follow such a dynamic speaker. You can talk to Diane.
All right, I will.
To do, and tell Diane that I'll be needing a tie, need her to come up with a tie as well.
It'll be purple.
Absolutely. All right. All right, I'm coming.
Brought her own basket. Thought you had some contributors today, didn't you?
Hey, just we'll get it all done at once.
That's right.
Don't forget your scissors.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, don't cut that one, I'm gonna bring it.
Hey, I handle scissors every day. I'm very careful.
No, I meant my tie.
I'm very careful with the scissors.
I got one from my dad that's about 75 years old, so I'll bring that in.
I'm looking forward
It
to that.
it looks like it just came out of Al Capone closet.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Do we have any more ties I need to collect? All right.
I am take advantage and bring one from my husband who's passed away about 3 years ago because for some reason he wore ties all the time when he was in management. And then when he quit doing that, he quit wearing ties, but they were still hanging in the closet. So I will be glad to, I know. Thank you. Okay.
All right. There will be other opportunities, so look forward to that.
One quick question, how many ties do you need to make a quilt?
Well, it's a flexible opportunity, but
Need to
I'm
hear you,
actually
ma'am.
looking forward to 250.
250?
It's the
Okay.
250th anniversary,
Oh, okay, yes,
so why not 250 ties,
yes,
right?
good point.
But I can work with whatever I get,
Okay,
and thank you very much.
you're welcome. We'll try to help you reach that 250 goal then.
Well, thank you. I'm headed to, I think I'm headed to Mark Calitri's office next.
Oh,
You'll see me again, don't worry. Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies.
Okay, any more foolishness to come before this commission tonight? Anybody else? Oh, I was thinking nobody, I didn't mean that about you, I was just.
No, that's
I was
fine.
just kind of thinking there wasn't gonna be anybody else.
I value my, trying to think how you would say it, my anonymous. So as far as giving my name and address, I'd prefer not to. If that's all
That'll
right.
cost you $10.
No, it just, I don't show up here often. I mean, it's been a couple years since I've been here. But I take in so much news that when I see issues that need to be addressed, I'll show up. But then you won't see me for another couple years. First thing I would like to say, my son is going, he's in Marine boot camp. He will be graduating in a couple weeks. He'll be running the Crucible Thursday through Saturday in the remnants of Tropical Storm Debbie. So that's going to be an extra challenge on top of him. Oorah. Now, so proud of that boy. I want to say some stuff that may be, and I'm going to say this is part one because I have so much. I'll probably be back unless y'all allow me to continue. And if not, y'all can cut me off and I'll be back whenever. That's fine. I would say the direction of Owensboro, and no offense, I'm sure y'all do the best you can, but it seems like it's going in the wrong direction and it's backwards. Now, I'll bring up an example here, and y'all will probably be shocked. Y'all call this area here downtown Owensboro, where if you go by north and south directions, north is up, south is down. You have Southtown, that means north would be up, but you call it downtown. You could call it Old Town. That sounds like a good description of here, and of course, you can call it New Town, but you already have Southtown. So, I don't know, but I'm just saying, downtown just isn't the description, so y'all might have to go and change all your letterheads and advertisements and everything to something else. I want to speak on the library issue. I have a bunch of issues, but I'm going down my list. When I was younger at the old library, they had the Kentucky room where you wasn't allowed to go in unless you was over the age of 13, I believe. Well, I was a voracious reader. I mean, I could read from beginning to end. And actually, when I got out of school in the 80s, if you ever heard about your parents keeping you out until the street lights came on, well, when I got out of school, I went to one or two places. That was either the Owensboro Museum, Science History Museum out on Sherman Road, or you would find me at the library. And I always wanted to know, I was so curious about what was in the Kentucky room that I wasn't allowed to view. So there were times, I remember down on the very bottom floor, they would have this concave mirror, and I would wait until I seen the lady at the desk get up, and I would go in the room and just start doing my research and reading. And I always loved reading. And as far as the issues that's going on now with the library, I believe all the books that anybody should be allowed to read that they want to. I'm sure in the history books y'all have heard of the Library of Alexandria that burnt down in the ancient days. I'm sure our current scientists, scholars would love to read any of the material they had back then, no matter how offensive it was, because you understand a society back then, you understand their history. So when you limit the reading to certain people, I mean, I guess it's up to the parents what they want to do. And I totally respect that. But I believe the library is knowledge that is here for generations. And if you think about it, back in World War II, when the Nazis burnt all the Jewish books, they wanted to eliminate their history. It's not to that extreme, but I just love the library. I love the knowledge. And I really just think it just should be available to whoever decides to read it, or if the parents give them permission. So I'll leave on that. Another thing about the library, I noticed in Madisonville, Kentucky, they have a maker's building. If anybody knows what a maker is, these are people who use 3D printers and laser cutters and innovative people who build things, just out of their creativity. Henderson Public Library has a maker's room. It's it's not a huge facility like the one in Madisonville, but they have one in the public library. And that blew my mind. I mean, I was amazed. I'm like that the library would think about people to actually do projects in that library. And I just wish the library, instead of concerning, which I'm sure the library facility or the people there want them to read whatever, and they don't want to be in this position, but I really wish they would turn their concerns over to maybe adding like a maker room or some other type of thing that would draw people in to learn all around, because it was amazing, and I really was hoping the library, I know it's kind of stuck in an area that just can't really build beyond, so I really don't know the situation to that.
I'll give you a couple more items, okay?
Oh, yeah, sure. The Bluegrass Museum. Now, this is, like I said, this is my opinion. I know they call this the Bluegrass Capital of the World.
Bluegrass Music Capital of the World.
Bluegrass Music Capital of the World. Okay. As far as history that I understand, that originated in Rosine and Ohio, Kentucky. Ohio County, Kentucky. I just don't think Owensboro should have spent millions of dollars of taking someone else's tourism and history and claim it as their own, which it is not. The city could have used millions of dollars to build some other type of facility or tourist attraction in that place. Like, it's already a done deal. You can't remove it, but I really wish the city officials, government officials, or whoever would have thought that over. Now, the Small Business Association, I'll end with this one here, and then y'all probably see me again, but the Small Business Association, I had about 3 ideals that I'm working on for a provisional patent application. Owensboro does not have a patent attorney, patent agents, or, as far as I know, a product development company. I had to go to Evansville to obtain a patent agent and the product development company. I think the Greater Owensboro Economic Development Center, now I'm kind of confused on these, and then something I'm sorry, I wish I was more ready on this here, but they have a business coach. The old one, I won't name the name, but I went there for a meeting one time, and I'm low on funds. I haven't got $100,000 to start a business or anything like that. I was trying to learn about business plan because I know business plan helps to get funding. That person spent more time checking messages on the phone and emails on the computer than paid attention to me. I didn't think that was respectful, but for the Greater Owensboro Economic Greater Development, I'm sorry if I had, you know what I'm talking about, has one business coach to represent all of Owensboro. And not only that, I think they represent multiple counties. That's like hundreds of thousands of people for one business coach. Would you send your kid to a school that had one teacher to over 1,000 students? You don't get that attention. And they have no classes, everything that I see is online from Louisville, online workshops, but they have nothing here she threw down a manila envelope, pretty big, and said, fill out this business plan. I don't know nothing about a business plan. That's why I came there for assistance. And so to me, Owensboro is not an economic incubator. It needs more officials or representatives to help the people who have ideals that may start a business. Because like I said, if I ain't got $100,000, you ain't looking at me. So anyway, hopefully I'm better prepared next time. I'm going to redo my notes and be a little bit more prepared. But
You're always welcome to come back.
thank you very much.
Anyone else? Okay, I'll make a motion that this meeting adjourn. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.